north of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Straight ahead, we've got here between the New England Patriots and the San Francisco 49ers. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Defensively, here are the starters for New England. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here we go. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is James White. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. White's numbers from a week ago. And they just could not stop him defensively. Hit the 200-yard mark, went over that, but he didn't score one time.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Because normally when you have that kind of performance, you hit on a couple of big, long runs, a 60-yarder, a 70-yarder. But for him, it was more like a 10 here, a 20 there. He spent the entire game just wearing down that defense.
Bradford. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Now a carry for White. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of 9 there, and it puts him in better shape here for 2nd and goal. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
3rd and goal, Bradford. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Allen Hurns, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Pats have taken the early lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean. As a blocker, he's able to run to the football. And the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And this will be taken at the 13. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Patriots take over. So the Patriots coming out now. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? It's certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, Bradford. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is taken at the 23. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
The numbers on the ground for McKinnon last week. 18 carries, 83.
Over to talk with the coaching staff prior to the game. Going up against a team that struggled against the run has only more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They run it with McKinnon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. Deron Harmon right there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our run.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Reuben Foster in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Third and long for Bradford. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's McKinnon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision king in the football, really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. '49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Here we go.
McKinnon. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the...
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And Gold is able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. On the toss, here's White. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Stop right there.
Bradford now from the 50. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
They go play action. Now Bradford. Gronkowski's got it on the crossing route. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now White, able to slither by. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Bradford on 3rd and 2. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. He was looking for Gronk that time. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now a play fake here on first down. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A first carry down for Rex Burkhead. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
This is caught. Gronkowski. He had 3 catches last week. That one his 3rd on this drive alone.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he?
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. Sam Bradford with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder, puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult third down call now.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Off the play fake, Bradford. Bryant with a catch right side. Dez Bryant with nothing but green grass ahead of him. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Dez Bryant with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Patriots add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Gostkowski for the point after. Gostkowski the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And that'll make it third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. He's going to air it out deep for Hogan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Bradford. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward. Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Now McKinnon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Back with more after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because...
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. A play fake. Bradford. And the pressure gets to Bradford, and down he goes. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Bradford. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolve the Madden way.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Returnable here from the 38. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that's in. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
3 down. Here we go. Black 80.
There's Garoppolo to throw. Screen play, McKinnon. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
180.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. Final play of the 1st half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where it was the visiting Seahawks who were able to come away with the road victory. Russell Wilson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Next, we head off to check out another game. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Rashard Matthews, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth 1st half. Who can put it together in the 2nd half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They stay on the ground with White. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Bradford. That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there. I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Bradford now to throw on 1st down. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. James White, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Gostkowski with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jimmy Garoppolo and his offense heading back on the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Airing it deep for Garcia. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go. Set hot. 180.
They keep it on the ground. White again. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Play action now. Bradford. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. And that's caught inside the 35. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here we go. Black 80.
And they'll go on the ground. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
third and long. It's Garoppolo. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. And now running right through it. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So many different weapons available in that Patriot backfield. Here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Bradford on 2nd down. He finds Hearns left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now a toss play. This is White. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
They'll run with White. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Bradford on 1st down. Goes underneath here to White. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's White. Flexing his muscle at the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. James White with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Patriots add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here we go. 180.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
As diverse as the running game has become in the NFL, there's still a place for the fullback position. And on that play, he gained nice yardage.
Garoppolo. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be fourth down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Patriots take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
Yeah, it's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On third down, Bradford over the middle. That's caught by Hogan. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. Bradford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On play action, Bradford. Going deep here for Bryant. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And they'll run it here. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
His throw caught right around the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. James White, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots are pouring it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Over the middle of Kittle, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Man open, it's Goodwin. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Garoppolo again. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and long. that sets up a first and goal.
Here we go. Like 20.
On first and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners, they eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah, Collins. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Gold with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now a handoff looking right. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Gotta hurry.
They go play action here on 1st down. Now a hit and the ball comes out. Bradford's lost it. And this is going to be 49er football. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Sharp there with his feet. Gets him a little extra space. And then drop just inside the 20. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And this is secured by the Patriots. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now he's flushed, and this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. Think it's intercepted.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And he'll be out right at the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Garoppolo on 1st down. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They go play action. Now Bradford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Reuben Foster in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Bradford. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. Gronkowski, the intended receiver. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, here's Garoppolo. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Garoppolo now. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Emmanuel Ogbah. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Garoppolo, got to have this one. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
One day. Alert.
Right back to him on first down. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Patriots, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets.